You ever think you have it all figured out? Like you've built the perfect life, found the perfect partner, made all the right choices, and then one day, you discover it was all a lie. That's what happened to me. And the revenge I got? It wasn't something I planned. It wasn't something I plotted. It was just karma doing what karma does best, serving cold, hard justice when you least expect it. My name's Jade. I'm 38 years old, and I used to think I was living the dream. High-powered marketing executive, beautiful home in Atlanta, engaged to a man I thought was my soulmate. His name was Marcus. Tall, handsome, successful real estate developer. We'd been together for 4 years, engaged for 6 months. Wedding planned for June, big fancy affair, 200 guests, destination block parties, the whole 9 yards. I met Marcus at a networking event. He walked up to me with this confident smile and said, "I don't usually do this, but I'd regret it if I didn't at least try to get your number." Smooth, right? And it worked. We went on our first date that weekend. Dinner at this upscale restaurant, conversation that flowed like we'd known each other forever. By date 3, I was hooked. Marcus was everything I thought I wanted. Ambitious, driven, romantic when he wanted to be. He'd surprise me with flowers at work, plan weekend getaways, talk about our future like it was already written. "We're gonna build an empire together, baby," he'd say. Power couple goals. My friends loved him. My family loved him. My mama, who's usually suspicious of every man I date, actually said, "This one's a keeper, Jade. Don't mess this up." So when Marcus proposed on a beach in Jamaica, sunset, whole production with a photographer hiding in the bushes, I said yes without hesitation. We started planning the wedding immediately. I was handling most of it because Marcus was so busy with work. But I didn't mind. I wanted everything to be perfect. And I had help. My best friend, Keisha. We'd been tight since college. Like sisters, honestly. She was my maid of honor, obviously. Helped me pick the dress, plan the bachelorette party, taste test cakes. All of it. Keisha was single, had been for a while. She'd joke about it. Living vicariously through your love story, girl. One of us needs a happy ending. I felt bad for her sometimes. Wish she could find someone as amazing as Marcus. Even tried to set her up with some of Marcus's friends. Never worked out. "I'm just picky," she'd say with a shrug. Waiting for the right one. Looking back now, I can see all the signs I missed. The way Keisha would sometimes look at Marcus when she thought I wasn't watching. The way Marcus's phone would blow up with texts he'd quickly dismiss as work stuff. The times I'd drop by Marcus's place unannounced and he'd seem flustered, like I'd interrupted something. But I trusted them. Both of them. Completely. Stupidly. That trust? It was about to cost me everything. It was 3 months before the wedding when I found out. 3 months before I was supposed to walk down the aisle and promise forever to a man who was playing me for a fool. I was at work when I got a text from an unknown number. "You deserve to know the truth about Marcus. Check his Instagram DMs. Password is your birthday backwards." I stared at that text for a solid 5 minutes. Part of me wanted to delete it, pretend I never saw it. But the other part, the part that had been feeling like something was off lately, needed to know. I opened Instagram on my laptop, logged into Marcus's account using my birthday backwards, 0291. It worked. My hands were shaking as I opened his DMs. And there it was, messages between Marcus and someone named Kay. Thousands of messages going back 2 years. 2 years. We'd been engaged for 6 months. Together for 4 years. He'd been talking to this person for half of our relationship. I started reading. At first, the messages seemed innocent. "Hey, how are you? Thinking about you." Could have been anyone. But then they got more intimate, more explicit, more devastating. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Jade thinks I'm working late, smirking face. You look so good today. Had to leave before I did something we'd both regret in front of her, LOL. I know this is complicated, but what we have is real. More real than what I have with her. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Who was Kay? How long had this been going on? Where were they meeting? I scrolled back further, looking for clues, looking for anything that would tell me who this person was. And then I saw it. A photo. Marcus had sent a photo to Kay. It was a selfie of them together. Him and Keisha. Kay was Keisha, my best friend, my maid of honor. The person I trusted more than anyone except Marcus. They were having an affair. Had been for 2 years. Right under my nose. While I planned a wedding. While I talked to Keisha about my future with Marcus. While I confided in her about everything. I ran to the bathroom at work and threw up. Then I sat on the floor of that bathroom stall and cried until my boss came looking for me. Jade, are you okay? I need to go home. I'm sick. I wasn't lying. I was sick. Sick with betrayal. Sick with heartbreak. Sick with rage. I drove home in a daze. Kept checking my phone, rereading the messages, convincing myself it was real. That I hadn't imagined it. That the 2 people I loved most hadn't been betraying me for 2 years. When I got home, I did what any self-respecting woman in 2024 would do. I went full detective mode. I checked Marcus's location history, cross-referenced it with dates and times he'd said he was working late. Found at least 30 instances where he'd actually been at Keisha's apartment. I checked his credit card statements. We had a joint account for wedding expenses. Found charges for hotels, restaurants, gifts, all on days I wasn't with him. I even checked his car, found a receipt from a jewelry store dated last month for a necklace he definitely hadn't given me. The evidence was overwhelming, undeniable, devastating. I spent that whole night gathering evidence. Screenshots, credit card statements, location data, everything I could find, because I knew what was coming. I knew I was about to blow up my entire life, and I needed proof. The next morning, I texted both of them, "Come to my house at 7 p.m. tonight. Both of you. We need to talk." Keisha responded first. "Everything okay, babe? What's going on?" Marcus. "Is this about the wedding? I'm kind of busy tonight." Me, 7 p.m. "Both of you. It's not a request." They both agreed. Probably thought I wanted to discuss some wedding detail. Had no idea what was coming. I spent that day preparing. Not just mentally, physically. I packed Marcus's stuff that was at my house, called my wedding planner and put everything on hold, called my mama and told her she might want to sit down for our next conversation. At 6:55 p.m., Marcus showed up. All smiles, no idea he was walking into an ambush. "Hey, baby, what's this about?" We could have just talked on the phone. Wait for Keisha. "Keisha's coming? Is this like a wedding planning thing?" I didn't answer, just stared at him, and I saw the exact moment he realized something was wrong. The smile faded, the confidence cracked. Keisha arrived at 7:02. She walked in chattering about her day, completely oblivious. "Girl, sorry I'm late. Traffic was insane. So what's up? Did you finally pick the flowers? I told you the peonies." "Sit down, Keisha." Something in my voice made them both freeze. "Jade, what's wrong?" Marcus tried to touch my arm. I jerked away. Don't touch me. Don't talk. Just sit down and listen." They sat, on opposite ends of my couch, not looking at each other. Both were trying to figure out what I knew. I pulled out my laptop, opened it to Marcus's Instagram DMs, turned it around so they could see. Someone sent me an anonymous tip yesterday, told me to check Marcus's Instagram, gave me his password, so I did. The color drained from both their faces. Imagine my surprise, I continued, my voice eerily calm, when I found thousands of messages between my fiancé and my best friend. Messages going back 2 years. Messages planning hookups. Messages laughing about how I had no idea. "Jade," Marcus started. I said, "Don't talk. I'm not done." I pulled out printed copies of the messages, threw them on the coffee table. 2 years. 2 years. You've been sleeping together for 2 years. While I planned a wedding. While I called Keisha, crying about wedding stress. While I confided in her about everything. Keisha was crying now. "Jade, I'm so sorry. I never meant." "Shut up. You don't get to cry. You don't get to be sorry. You've been sleeping with my man for 2 years and you're my maid of honor." "It just happened," Marcus tried. "We didn't plan it." "You didn't plan it? You didn't plan 2 years of secret meetings? 2 years of lying to my face? 2 years of making a fool out of me?" I pulled out the credit card statements. "You bought her a necklace last month. Used our joint account. The account we opened for wedding expenses. You bought your side chick jewelry with money meant for our wedding." "Jade, please let me explain." "Explain what?" How you a lying, cheating piece of trash? How do you propose to me while sleeping with my best friend? How did you let me plan a whole wedding while carrying on an affair? I turned to Keisha. And you helped me pick my wedding dress. You planned my bachelorette party. You sat in my house, drank my wine, and gave me advice about my relationship with the man you were sleeping with. I wanted to tell you, Keisha sobbed. So many times I wanted to tell you, but you didn't. Because you're a snake. Both of you are snakes. Marcus stood up. Okay, you're upset. I get it. But we're all adults here. We can work through this, I laughed. Actually laughed. Work through this? Marcus, there's nothing to work through. We're done. The wedding's off. You need to leave. Jade, don't be hasty. Let's talk about this when you've calmed down. I am calm. I wasn't calm, but I was done. Get out of my house. Now, this is my house too. I helped pay the mortgage. Actually, you didn't. This house is in my name only. I bought it before we met. You've contributed nothing. So get out. Marcus looked at Keisha, and that's when I saw it. That look, that connection. They really did have something. This wasn't just a fling. They were in deep. Are you kidding me right now? I asked. You're looking at her? You're worried about her. Jade, I never meant to hurt you, Marcus said. But Keisha and we have something real. Something I don't think you and I ever really had. Those words broke something in me. Get out. Both of you. Now. They left. Together. Because of course they did. I locked the door behind them and fell apart. Completely, totally fell apart. The next few days were hell. I called off work. Avoided calls from everyone. Lived on ice cream and rage. My mama came over. Held me while I cried. Baby, I'm so sorry. But you're better off knowing now than finding out after the wedding. She was right. But it didn't make it hurt less. I had to tell everyone. The wedding was canceled. Had to explain why without going into all the details. We realized we weren't right for each other was the official story. But word got out. People talked. Within a week, everyone knew Marcus had been cheating with Keisha. The judgment, the pity, the I never liked him anyway comments, all of it was exhausting. I deleted social media. Couldn't handle seeing Keisha's posts or Marcus's face. Couldn't handle the questions. But here's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't just break your heart. It lights a fire in your soul. And I was burning. 2 weeks after the confrontation, I made a decision. I wasn't going to just move on quietly. I wasn't going to let them get away with this without consequences. Marcus thought he was slick. Thought he could cheat and lie and just move on to Keisha like nothing happened. But he didn't know something about me. Something I'd learned in my marketing career. Information is power. And I had information. See, Marcus wasn't just a real estate developer. He was a shady real estate developer. I'd always known his business dealings were questionable. He'd joke about creative accounting and technically legal loopholes. I'd ignored it before because I loved him. But now I was paying attention. I started digging into his business, his finances, his deals, and I found some interesting things. Tax fraud, property flipping schemes that bordered on illegal, contracts with forged signatures, money laundering through shell companies. Marcus had built his success on lies and illegal activity, and I had proof. I also found out something about Keisha. My former best friend had been stealing from her job. Small amounts at first, then larger. She was the accountant for a small business, and she'd been skimming money for months. They were both criminals. Both thought they were untouchable. Both wrong. I didn't go to them. I went to the authorities. I compiled everything I had on Marcus. Every shady deal. Every forged document. Every laundered dollar. And I handed it over to the FBI's Financial Crimes Division. I'm not doing this out of spite, I told the agent. Though let's be real, spite was definitely part of it. I'm doing this because what he's doing is illegal and hurting people. The agent looked through my evidence. This is substantial. We'll investigate. For Keisha, I went to her employer. Showed them the evidence of theft. Bank statements showing deposits that didn't match her salary. Paper trails I'd found when we'd shared our locations and cloud storage. I think you should look into your accounts, I told the owner. Keisha's been stealing from you for months. Within 3 weeks, both of their worlds started crumbling. Marcus got raided by the FBI. They seized his computers, his files, his assets, started an official investigation into his business practices. Keisha got fired, and her employer pressed charges: theft, embezzlement. She was looking at jail time. I didn't tell them it was me. Didn't gloat. Didn't say anything. Just watched from a distance as karma did its thing. Marcus tried calling me. Jade, I know you're behind this. This is insane. You can't destroy my life because you're mad about the breakup. I didn't destroy your life, Marcus. You did that all by yourself when you decided to commit fraud. I just made sure you faced consequences. You vindictive, careful. The FBI is probably monitoring your calls now. Wouldn't want to add threatening your ex to your list of charges. I hung up, blocked his number, moved on. Keisha tried a different approach. Sent me a long email apologizing, begging me not to testify against her, claiming she made mistakes but didn't deserve to have her life ruined. I replied, "You ruined your own life when you stole from your employer and slept with your best friend's fiancé. Actions have consequences. Welcome to yours." Within 6 months, Marcus was indicted on multiple federal charges. Plea bargained down to 5 years in federal prison. Lost everything: his business, his house, his reputation. Keisha pleaded guilty to embezzlement. Got 2 years, served one with good behavior. Lost her career, her reputation, any chance at the life she thought she was building. And me, I took the year to heal. Went to therapy, reconnected with real friends, focused on my career, got promoted to VP of marketing, bought a bigger house, started dating again, slowly, carefully, but dating. A year and a half after everything went down, I was at a coffee shop working on my laptop when someone sat across from me. I looked up. It was a woman, mid-30s, beautiful, professional looking. "Jade," she asked. "Yes? Do I know you?" "Not exactly, but I know you. I'm the one who sent you that text. The one about Marcus's Instagram." I stared at her. "You? Why?" "Because I was Marcus's girlfriend before you. And he did the same thing to me. Cheated with Keisha. The same playbook." My jaw dropped. "What?" "My name's Vanessa. Marcus and I dated for 3 years. He cheated on me with Keisha for most of it. When I found out, I confronted them both. They gaslit me, told me I was crazy, and made me feel like I was imagining things. I eventually just left. Didn't have proof. Didn't know how to fight back. Oh my God. When I heard through mutual friends that Marcus was engaged to someone new, I looked you up. Saw your social media. Saw you with him and Keisha. And I knew he was doing it again. Using the same playbook. I couldn't let it happen to you without at least trying to warn you. You saved me from marrying him. I wish someone had saved me from wasting 3 years on him. We talked for hours, compared notes, realized Marcus had a pattern. He'd date successful women, love bomb them, gain their trust, then cheat with Keisha while draining their resources. He's a con artist, Vanessa said. Always has been. The real estate business? That's just his legal front. His real skill is manipulating women. And Keisha, she's been his partner in crime since college. They have some sick, twisted bond. They get off on deceiving people together. Learning this changed everything. It wasn't personal. It wasn't because I wasn't good enough. It was a pattern, a scheme. I was just their latest mark. Thank you, I told Vanessa, for reaching out, for giving me the truth. Thank you for making them face consequences. When I heard Marcus got arrested and Keisha got fired, I literally cried happy tears. They finally got what they deserved. Vanessa and I became friends, real friends. She introduced me to 2 other women Marcus had scammed before her. We formed a support group of sorts, survivors of Marcus and Keisha's manipulation. We even started a blog, Narcissistic Patterns, How to Spot a Con Before You're Conned, sharing our stories, helping other women recognize red flags, and building a community. The blog went viral, got picked up by major publications. We were interviewed on podcasts, featured in magazines, and invited to speak at women's empowerment events. Who knew getting betrayed would lead to this? Vanessa joked. Sometimes the best revenge is turning your pain into purpose, I said. And I meant it. Yes, I'd reported Marcus and Keisha to the authorities. Yes, I'd made sure they faced legal consequences. But the real revenge, the real justice, it was building something meaningful from the ashes of their betrayal. It was helping other women avoid what we went through. It was refusing to let what they did to us define us. 2 years after everything exploded, my life looked completely different. I was thriving in my career. The company had promoted me to chief marketing officer. I was making more money than I'd ever imagined. I'd bought my dream house, a beautiful place with a home office where I worked on the blog and planned speaking events. I was dating someone new. His name was Anthony, and he was nothing like Marcus. Honest, transparent, respectful. We were taking things slow, building something real. The blog had turned into a full business. We'd written a book, Double Crossed, Surviving Betrayal and Building Your Best Life. It became a bestseller. Vanessa and I were partners now. Best friends. We'd turned our shared trauma into a platform that was helping thousands of women. And then one day, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. "Hello, Jade? It's Keisha." I almost hung up, but curiosity got the better of me. "What do you want?" "I'm out now. Got out 3 months ago. I've been in therapy working on myself, and I wanted to apologize. Properly apologize. Keisha, I know you don't owe me anything. I know I destroyed our friendship and hurt you in unforgivable ways. But I need you to know I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. Not because I got caught, but because I finally understand how much damage I caused." I was silent. "I'm not asking for forgiveness," she continued. "I'm not asking to be friends again. I just needed you to hear that I know what I did was wrong. I take full responsibility, that I'm working every day to become a better person. Why should I believe you? You shouldn't. I haven't earned your trust. Maybe I never will. But I'm saying it anyway because you deserve to hear it." We talked for 30 minutes. She told me about her time in prison, her therapy, and her realization that she'd been enabling Marcus's abuse for years because she was caught up in her own issues. "He was my college boyfriend," she admitted. "We broke up but stayed close. And somewhere along the way, we created this toxic dynamic where we'd target successful women together. It was sick. I was sick. I'm ashamed of the person I was." "And Marcus? Are you still in contact with him?" "No. I wrote him a letter in prison. Told him we're done. That I'm done being part of his schemes. He wrote back, calling me every name in the book. That's when I knew. He never actually cared about me either. I was just useful to him. Join the club. I know you probably hate me. I don't hate you, Keisha. I did for a long time. But hate is exhausting. I've moved on. Built a good life. Found real friends. You're just someone from my past now. I understand. Thank you for taking my call. And Jade, I'm proud of you. For the blog, the book, everything you've built. You turned something horrible into something helpful. That's powerful." After we hung up, I sat there processing. Did I forgive Keisha? Not entirely, but I also didn't carry anger for her anymore. She was dealing with her own consequences, her own healing journey. And I was too busy living my best life to dwell on people who'd hurt me years ago. You know what the real revenge was? It wasn't getting Marcus arrested or Keisha fired. It wasn't seeing them face consequences, though that was satisfying. The real revenge was this. I refused to let what they did break me. I refused to become bitter, closed off, unable to trust again. I refused to let their betrayal define my future. Instead, I took my pain and turned it into power. Took my heartbreak and turned it into healing for myself and for others. I built a business helping women recognize and escape toxic relationships. I wrote a book that became a lifeline for thousands of people going through similar betrayals. I found real love with someone who values honesty and respect. Marcus is in federal prison, his reputation destroyed, his career over, his freedom gone. That's justice. Keisha lost her career and spent time in prison. That's the consequences. But me, I'm thriving. I'm successful. I'm happy. I'm surrounded by real friends who would never betray me. I'm building something meaningful with my life. That's revenge. Living well. Succeeding despite their attempts to break me. Refusing to let their actions dim my light. Because at the end of the day, the best revenge isn't destruction, it's elevation. Rising above. Becoming so successful So happy, so fulfilled that they become irrelevant to your story. They're footnotes now, cautionary tales, lessons learned, and I'm the main character of my own story, writing my own ending, building my own empire. That's the sweet justice I was always meant to have. If you're listening to this, if you've been double crossed, heartbroken, betrayed by people you trusted, here's what I want you to know: it's not your fault. You didn't cause their betrayal. Their actions reflect their character, not your worth. You will survive this. It doesn't feel like it right now, but you will. Day by day, you'll heal. You'll rebuild. You'll find yourself again. Don't seek revenge out of bitterness, but don't let them get away with destroying you either. Stand up for yourself. Expose the truth. Make sure they face consequences. And then let it go. Move on. Build something beautiful from the ashes of what they burned down. Because the best revenge isn't hurting them back. It's healing yourself, growing, thriving, becoming so successful and happy that they become irrelevant. That's what I did. That's what you can do too. Marcus and Keisha thought they could betray me and move on without consequences. They were wrong. I got my justice, not just legally, though that was satisfying, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I won, not because they lost, but because I refused to let losing them mean losing myself. And that's the sweetest revenge of all.